Hello everybody, my name is Alan Lloyd. In relation to the third development of technology, it will position itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time there is no one in to look for the code. It is B5F218. The B5F218 is the design datem for the interlude of technology to position itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time there is no one in to look for the code. It is B5F218. The design datem is interlude of technology for the position of the Army for Sector 3. If they decide to do so in relation to Surfunk, it is the equilibrium to share the network of 1. If the oil weight is 3 on 1, 10 on 1 and 4 on 1 by the border, the third moon will switch off to the mode of Anana. In that day it is 10325. The design datem is interlude technology for the position. In the acceptance of the Lord, LORD, is the interlude of technology for the position. Each position is accepting the Lord to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is Bell 2 F318. The design datem is interlude of technology. Anyway, in relation to the thinking pattern, the design datem is the Tashkaman. The Tashkaman is a lawyer of 3 on 1, 12 on 1 and 4 on 1 by the border. The third moon will switch off to the mode of Anana. In that day it is 10325. The 10325 is Surfunk to equalize the map position of physics in relation to the position
I'm
of the
sorry, I can't make calls here.
In that day it is 10321. The design datem is interlude technology for the position. In the Army Sector 3, they will decide to do so in relation to the honor. The fire brigade will work out the path of even to order the third dimension. The third dimension for Dr. T. Sandra is the last message of the compound to position itself into the correspondence. The correspondence of accepting the law based upon the element it will send the sun through. The sun will burst to tears to heaven based upon the scientists. No. Later. In relation to the third amount of technology, it will position itself into the area. Any area in relation to Surfunk, it is the equilibrium to share the network of 1. If the oil weight is 3 on time, 12 on time and 4 on time by the border, the third moon will switch off to the mode of Anana. In Facebook, it will be upgraded to the Anana. Well, it's still not available. I will program on Gazal Design.xyz for Facebook to send the sun through. When the sun is sent through, it will work out on Facebook account of number 325. Each account of number 325 is the design datem for the interlude, because in that day it is 10321. The 10321 is by the Surfunk to equalize the map position of physics. In a matter of time, when it does that, it will array itself into the third performance. The network of 1 is the oil tree, and the monogram. The monogram will be in the way to understand the logics. The logics of words is a processing processor to understand the sound of a card. The sound of a card will be the way in to control itself into network 5. If the oil weight is 3 on 1, 12 on 1 and 4 on 1 by the border, the third moon will switch off to the mode of the artificial intellectual copy tissue of the intelligent. In that way, it is the way in to know. The door to heaven based upon the machine, it will array itself into the third performance. The network of 1 is the oil tree and the monogram. The monogram will position itself into the acceptance. So Dr. T. Sandra, the last one is to know how to be the way in to control the majority of law, to message the component of the compound, and to position itself into the two-way in. The two-way in is the third moon to develop the third technology, to position itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time, there is no one in to look for the code. It is B5F218. The B5F218 is the design datem for the interlude technology to position itself into the area. Any area in relation to Surfunk, It is the equilibrium to share the network of one. If the oil weight is 3 on time, 12 on time, and 4 on time by the border, the third moon will switch off to the mode of Anana. In that day it is 10325. The design day 10 is interlude technology for the thinking of thoughts in relation to upgrading the way in. The thinking of thoughts is the Instagram of technology to position itself into the area. The area is 010809. The design day 10 is the interlude technology for the position. Each position is Instagram. In relation to the third amount of technology, it will position itself into the area. The thinking of thoughts is the Eshkanam. The Eshkanam is the Pakshkasham. Particularly, the understanding of the life cycle will recycle the bin into the Hatra. But if the Hatra is the Pakshkasham, the Machkalam and the Ananam is a word of the processor to Instagram the third way in. The Instagram technology will position itself into the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is B5F218. The design dating is interlude technology to position itself into the acceptance. So for Sue in relation to the Mishkanan, it is the Elanganan. So in that day it is 10325. In each woman, the name of the processor will retime itself into the co-function to execute the law. Any law in relation to Surfunk, it is the equilibrium to share the network of one. Getting the path of even will tell you the story about how things works, how things may not work, but it will be strong enough for me to know that the door will be open in the 39 galaxy. Interesting, isn't it? Yes, it will be. So, I am patient. I'm waiting for the door to open. But sometimes I don't want to wait because I don't want to know. Because when you know too much, you're not going to understand what I'm recording and what I've taken pictures of. That's why I'm slow. So doing slow things will help you to understand that the word processor will Instagram the third technology. In that way, when you make the peripheral in relation to knowing that the peripheral is a Shakyanan or the Paganan, later my robots and my computers. Because when you create the peripheral, you will know that one day you'll get one, and then you can make them to make the spaceship. Simple, isn't it? When you want to make the spaceship, you got to understand the galaxy, because in the galaxy it works out Prishkara or something. The word processor is very hard for me to pronounce, but later on when I get parts, I will record my story about my draft code to know that even so, if you order the third dimension of the element, it will send the sun through. But if the sun bursts to tears to heaven based upon the area, it will time out into the sun. The sun will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is Bell 2 F318. I will share this post to Facebook